You are about to listen to Only Fools and Collecting, a podcast for those who like a good moan about figure collecting and don't mind naughty words.
Evening all.
Evening. Episode 74. Not too bad. It's a floater. I thought we were talking about what my bowel movements after lunch.
I literally, because the problem we have is we kind of get everything ready to go kind of Monday / Tuesday. So Monday, there wasn't much in the chat really as to what we were going to be talking about, because up until this morning, there really wasn't a great deal other than, you know, the same shit every other fucker talks about, like, you know, San Diego Comic-Con, and no, it's another Batman, and the travesty for us original collectors and all that bullshit. So I was like, I don't really know what the fucking... And then I saw the picture of all the Grogus. I thought, it's a floater. It's a floater. That's it. Sorted. That's our name, and that's what we do.
It's good. It's good. It's the set that nobody could remember was actually talking about way back in the day, and it just popped up, and forgot about that.
Yeah, literally, I was. It was released, and I was like, oh, the pram looks pretty cool. And then I was like, I don't need swaddling baby Jesus Grogu, and I don't need dick in a box Grogu either. And the little cat thing, I think I got one of those fucking years ago with something, so I was a bit like, there's really nothing there. And then I thought, actually, if I wanted to, I could probably print the fucking pram. I was like,
it's a bit of a strange one. It's almost like the world just went Grogu mad, and they just kept flinging out more and more of them.
It was like they realised that everyone had just printed the series 2 parts and were probably quite happy with what they had at that point, and went, oh shit, we better release like an add-on pack, but not call it an add-on pack. We'll call it something different. So anyway, that's us moaning for a little bit instead of saying hello. But in the chat, we got Toy Mafia, Andre, Caffeinated Coffee Fan, Takarthi, Equan, and Doc Schmizzle. Hello, everyone.
Welcome all. Nice to see you.
So, let's jump straight into, if I can find the thumbnail. Let's go straight into...
New this fortnight.
What you got, Pete?
Right. I start from left to right. So we've got that on the left is my Ssr Batman, and I had put him up for sale for a bit. I wasn't sure about him, and I didn't really get anyone, so I thought, okay. So I decided to sell the Nightmare Batman instead, and I thought I'd try a body swap on the Ssr, which was always my original intention when I got it, and I don't really know why I didn't. I think because the price of the Fison bodies had gone a bit crazy.
They had for a while, hadn't they?
They had for a while, yeah. They were like 90 quid or something. I was like, I don't want to do that. So I thought, actually, I'm going to go for it because I like the outfit. I like pretty much everything about it, but I didn't like the body. It was too tall. He's way taller than like the Superman on the M34 body that I've got. And on the M35 is a little bit shorter. So I had a look, and 1/6 kit, I got one for about 60 quid. I thought that's not bad. That's not bad. And then I think it was about 65 all in, and chucked the Ssr body up for sale on eBay and got 65 quid for it. So that was good. That was good. Somebody obviously wanted a gigantic body for something. So swapped it out. Easy swap because, as I say, the body it came off is massive, so it didn't require any modification or anything. Went on easily. So the body's a little bit shorter, so you can just like pull the sleeves and the legs down and just bury that into the boots and the gloves and everything. So it all fits great. The only thing I will do is I just need to probably drill out the cup in the head a little bit just to get it sitting a little bit lower, because those pegs are quite big and quite high on the Fisons.
Fisons have really weird necks.
They do.
Have short little stubby necks that literally just line up with the head sculpt. Yeah. And then a giant fuck off ball like that.
Yeah. So if you look at that anywhere other than that straight on, there is a little gap. So I'm just going to drill it out a little bit, and so it just sits a little bit lower.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love it again now. I think that's what it needed, to be honest, a decent body.
Yeah.
You
It
know,
is an
it looks
awesome Batman.
and without the the visible joints and stuff of the other one. So,
So you see where you got the cape?
yeah,
That little bit where the two bits of material meet, tuck that underneath that lip.
okay,
Because it's kind of like the BVS cape. So leave the bits that are coming over here, leave them coming over, and then just pull that bit down so that V piece sits over that, and then it folds up really nicely.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because those weird sculpted neck pieces always give people a bit of aggro, because you either kind of have it over or all under. Or
So I hate it over, because that's how it's meant to go, but it just takes away from the realism. But I'll have a look at trying to tuck that under.
So it ends up a bit like, if I can even get my display case open. No, I can't, because I've shoved the box in the way, which is fucking awkward. I'll show you my BVS one later, but you'll get the idea. It kind of like that.
Cool.
Because I described it like a fucking cretin then.
I think I know what you mean. I'll give it a go. And then, so that's cool. So happy with him again now. And then I got in the Scout Trooper, the new Hot Toys one.
Looking good.
As things go, I was on the last show. I said that I had a second batch or pre-order that I placed a long time ago with TBA, and I was messaging them going, "Look, you've got them in stock, and they're lower price than I pre-ordered for. Not a lot in it." And I said, "I'm not asking for the lower price. I'm just thinking you've got them sitting there. Why have you not sent mine out?" And he didn't answer me for days, and me being impatient, I was like, "Right, fuck it, I'm just going to order one, and then I'll just sell one, because they'll." They're brand new. They'll go. No problem. Yeah. So I ordered one, and then literally, like, about half an hour later, he's messaged me going, "Oh, you've ordered 2 of these now." He said, they're discounted because they basically can't shift them. They got a lot of them. There's a lot of them about there, and obviously Star Wars isn't a big thing in Hong Kong.
No.
So he's like, "Well, you can cancel your other one, but you'll lose 10%. And I was like, no, I'll have both of them. Send them both. Yeah. And I'll just move one on. So he boxed them up, and literally they took like 4 days. It was on the free delivery, 6 to 21 business days, 4 days.
That's not bad,
both turned up. Took the top one out, took a photo of the second one in the box, and within 5 minutes it was gone. Yeah. Took it down to the post office that afternoon. So, it was just one of those things. Like,
how much did Toys by an Agent doing them for?
I think, so the trouble is, they were, because the exchange rate's really bad at the moment, so they're about 185, 190. Whereas I think when I pre-ordered him, he was more like 165, 170. So obviously I paid the first half of him at the better rate, but the second half was at the crappier rate. Because like now, it's less than 10 Hong Kong dollars to a pound now. So for example, 2,000 Hong Kong dollars would be over £200 now, whereas before it would have been slightly under. But it's still not bad. I mean, under 200 quid. It's pretty bare bones, but you get the sniper rifle, which I don't think ever featured in the film. But
didn't one of them? I think one of them has it on his back.
Possibly,
if I remember rightly, one of the troopers at some point has it on his back, and I think he jumps on a speed bike or something and fucks off.
But it's never actually held as a gun. But it's nice. It's a nice gun, and I think it makes for a nice pose. So he's gone into the Jedi cabinet, and I'm going to keep the Sideshow one on the bike. There's no point in he looks good on. They look good on the bike. I think they don't look so good standing up, the Sideshow ones, but when they're posed up on the bike, you don't really notice the sort of weird proportions and stuff. So he's going to stay.
When I had the Sideshow one, I swapped the body out for just a normal cheap knockoff body. Yeah. And it did wonders for it.
Yeah, I didn't bother, only because I would have done if it had come all floppy, because a lot of people saying that the old bodies were a bit floppy, but that was fairly tight, so I thought I won't bother. And then once I put him on the bike, then I wasn't worried. Oh, just to mention, I did take the fat suit off. Again, another unnecessary fat suit. When he comes out of the box, he's a proper chunky fellow. It's an even like it's a. Have you taken one off your Luke yet?
Yeah, I've done that. Yeah.
Because that's got sort of a fair few cutouts and stuff, hasn't it? So it's like like a light fat suit, whereas this one's like a full on one. It's really thick. So I took that off, put it all back on, and obviously with this, because the fat suit's really thick, it is a bit baggy. So I did put a few stitches in the back, just sewed up the back of the. I just put a couple of stitches in the black undersuit, and then the cummerbund bit, I sewed that up as well because that was quite loose. And then I think, and I just ended up, because I thought, well, I'm never gonna get rid of him, and I'm never gonna take him apart again. So I think instead of like with the belt and stuff, I just put a blob of glue, just to tighten it all up.
Mate, I've done that loads. I use hot glue.
Yeah.
And the good thing about hot glue is you can unpick it and it doesn't damage the material. Yeah.
So I just put a couple of blokes just to put those two little side boxes because they were hanging quite low. So I just thought, do you know what? I just put a blob of glue. Yeah. I'm not going to get rid of it. It's fine. So really nice figure. Definitely worth picking up if you can get one. Yeah. Like him. Good. I think that's my last Hot Toys now for quite a while. I was having a look, and I think the next one I've got, I think, might be the Mandalorian one, the V2 one. So that's probably.
I think I've still got that on pre-order.
I think that's Q1 that's due, or Q4 this year, Q1 next year. So I think so. A bit of a drought for me for Hot Toys for a little while. But I'm glad to get this.
The next pre-order figure I've got coming in is Patrick Bateman.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's it. And then other than
that should be fairly soon, wasn't it? Because they announced a little delay, but it shouldn't be too far off. Are you gonna think you're gonna keep him, or do you?
I want to see what it's like in hand.
Yeah.
I've got no doubt it's going to be great because Andy's not going to let shit go out. So I need to go through my collection, and there's a cube that I kind of want to free up, and I've got a kind of a cube of just odd figures that don't really go with anything. So I'm trying to kind of see what my options are with those because I don't want to just keep getting in one, figures.
That's what I was thinking. Really you got to have something to go with him. I suppose you could pose him with Bale Batman and or if you've got a Kit Bash Bruce Wayne or something, it would work because you could just say it's a Bateman, what's his face, Christian Bale kind of display. Caffeinated says here, damn, I should take the fat suit off mine because he has a bitch to get in the bike. Yeah, it really is. Like even just trying to get the arms up to get the black undersuit was really difficult to move those arms up.
The fat suit on the Mando version is exactly the same. It's an absolute bastard. To get that pose you're doing feels like you're going to break him.
Yeah, definitely.
It's so stupid. I don't know why they do it.
No.
I get the idea. I get the premise of giving you something underneath the material that's meant to kind of simulate flesh, and so you don't get those the weird kind of knees and elbows. Yeah.
But I'm saying like this, so that's all covered up.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't. It
seems that figures that need it, they don't do it.
Yeah.
And then everything else that's covered head to toe, particularly with stuff that isn't that tight either, they don't bother with.
And the thing is, as I say, so I do tend to keep them because sometimes you think actually I'll try this. That you might kit bash a figure and think they need, like I did that with Mace Windu because he's not a skinny guy, and put a little fat suit on him and it looked great. So keep them and they'll find a use for them somewhere. And then my other one's a bit random but cool. When Stranger Things, I think the second episode from last, and that
I know the bit you mean.
And I saw him. I saw it on. It's basically the Conan sword, and it's on the floor in the Russian prison, just really randomly. And I saw it, and I went to my missus. I went, "Oh, it's Conan's sword, fantastic!" And So I thought, and I've always wanted to get one, and I've ummed and ahed, and if you look at the official ones, they're like 700 quid and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I can't justify that. And so I just Googled it, and I found this place. They say they're UK based. They're called Swords Kingdom. So if you're in the UK or whatever, I think they ship it. Have a look. So basically, they've got all of the, all the Lord of the Rings swords, Conan, blah blah blah, completely unlicensed, but they're really reasonable. This Conan sword was 82 quid, I think.
Is that it?
Yeah, and the Sting was 72 with the, and you get the scabbard. Yeah, so I thought I'll give them a go. And I thought to myself, I should have just ordered one, but I've always wanted Sting as well. So I thought, order the two. And a bit like Toys Wonderland, it took ages. There was nothing, no news and everything. Yeah. And I looked them up, and people were saying, oh, they're not in the UK. They ship from India or Pakistan or stuff. So I kept, when you ship it. Oh yeah, you'll get it there. And I kept pushing them. I was a bit of an arse, but I was polite. I kept pushing them every day. And he did say it was the actual prop from the film, which is really cool. And they went, oh yeah, it's shipped DHL, blah blah blah. So I looked up, and it's like, we've received your tracking number, we haven't received your items. I thought, oh, here we go, Toys Wonderland special. But then literally they turned up like 2 days later, and I was like, oh cool. And I opened it up, and I was really impressed, to be honest, for the price. I can't fault them at all. The Sting's really nice. I don't need to do anything to that. That's spot on. But the Conan, you do get different colour versions. So like if you go even to like Marto, who make the official one, they do like a silver version, a bronze version, a gold version. Well, I want a version that looks like it was on the screen. So, and obviously, as you can see in the first picture, this came like basically silver with a weird bright yellow rope handle, which And what's funny is I thought, well, I'll cut that off. And as I cut down, it's not one piece. It was all single rings of string. I think that's... it was weird. Anyway, so took all that off, and I bought some leather cord, and I'm wrapping that round. And I bought 5 meters, and you'd think that for a handle that's like that long, 5 meters would be enough. Nope. So and you can't buy it in 10 meters. So I've got another 5 meter piece coming, and I'll just make a little join at the back, because obviously I've kind of gone with one side having because you've got to start the string somewhere, and you've got to overlap it as well. So that's on what will be the back side, if you like. So you won't notice it. I've just started painting up, so I'm giving it the brass look. So I've done all that, and then I've just before we came on, I've been highlighting all the details with like a bronze pen, and then I'll knock it all back again, so it's not completely bright and everything. And I think it'll look really nice. So I'd have a look at them. Yeah, I mean, I'm tempted. I've got another couple in my wish list. I've got Gandalf's sword in there, and Boromir's sword as well. Mrs. is like, why are you buying swords? They're just complete. What are you going to do with them? I'm like, well, I've already got a couple, and at some point I will put them on the wall. And that does come with a little scabbard, the Conan as well, but it's not movie accurate or anything. But I might do some work on that at some point, because the one he's got in the film is all kind of like wrapped in leather and furs and stuff like that. But no, it's decent, definitely. Because I just really wasn't sure, because I know some of these knockoff ones, they're absolute shit. But
you got to be careful. But they look really good.
They look really good. I wouldn't say they're any like worse quality than the United Cutlery ones that I've got. The proper Lord of the Rings licensed ones. So, and if you missed out on any of those, because obviously you can't get those for love the money now. They've got all of them. Like So it's have a look. But, the Atlantean Conan sword. That's probably my favourite movie sword ever. So hopefully I'll put some pics up next show when it's all done.
No, it's looking good. I like that.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, Lane says at the Hot Toys Scout Trooper. It is, mate. Yep. Brand new, hot off the press. Great figure. So you haven't got anything, but you had a little story to tell us.
Oh, cool. Now, what should be is a lovely picture of Boba Fett from The Mandalorian with his pigeon shit armour. which I ordered in the Toys Wonderland sale they had, and
Yep, the great giveaway.
yeah, I'm not a fan of the company. I haven't been for years, but I couldn't.
They burn you every time, and they reeled you back in.
I couldn't pass up on 130 quid Boba Fett.
No.
Now, I don't particularly really want this figure. It was only because I wanted the armour to use for Cobb Van, and then the robes and stuff. I was going to take the Empire alternative armour, whack it on that, because I thought it would look pretty cool. Because I have loads of spare bits for Boba Fett. I've got a spare chest armour. I ended up buying a whole jumpsuit and a whole spare chest armour and stuff like that to be able to put that extra stuff on a figure. So I managed to kit bash a whole new Boba Fett. So I thought, this would be handy, because this is because in my head, like, that alternative armour would have made an excellent Mythos one.
Yeah.
And then I even painted up a Mythos-y type head with like an eye missing, which I don't know what I've done with. I'm just looking at the heads I painted now, and I'm kind of going, I don't know where that is. So the idea was to kind of kit bash an up to date.
What you mean with like a split out of it, like the Vader?
With all the no. So this was the unmasked. It was all scarred all down. The side.
Yes, I saw it. Yeah, yes.
That's it. And then this eye here was just completely red. So the idea was he's absolutely fucked. He doesn't go into a magical Bacta tank after he gets gets fucked by the Scarlac pit, and that was generally the idea. So it's been 2 weeks. They generate a shipping label. I go, okay, this ain't my first rodeo. I know that means fuck all. And then another week goes by, and I'm like, okay. And then I get a message this morning to say, we've oversubscribed on the Boba Fett's. And I thought, no shit. And they said, you've got two options. We can give you a full refund with no additional charges. I thought, that's very good of you. Thank you for giving my money back for something you don't actually have. Yeah. And they said, if you like, you can keep it, keep the order active, and by the end of August, we will send you one. So I was like, look, I said, I've got no problem holding my order. However, I would like you to upgrade the shipping. Purely because I'm then going to have to wait until end of August and then go through this whole fucking rigmarole again where they generate a tracking number and nothing ever fucking happens. It will. They say end of August. I'm looking probably end of September before the fucker actually turns up.
Yeah, exactly.
And, at that point,
by then you'll be like, can't be bothered now.
Exactly. So they then came back and said, okay, thanks. Discard the shipping number you've got. I thought, okay. So I emailed them and said, just to confirm, you're going to upgrade the shipping, aren't you? They emailed me back about 5 minutes before to say, no, we're going to keep the shipping at what you selected. So I've just emailed them and said, that's absolute bollocks. Like, you're the ones who are fucked up here. Yep. And I'll just test the waters. When they email me back to say, I ain't doing it, I'll just go, poke it up your arse, I'll have the money back.
Give me the money back, yeah.
But yeah, I was like, for fuck's sake. Do you know when you go, why'd I do it? I did it with Luke because I didn't have much choice. And then this fucking stupid sale. And I thought, and it just seems a bit dodgy. It seems to me like they're just, I don't know. This is just my opinion, but it wouldn't surprise me if the bubble burst with them and they,
Yeah, it's just funny. I can just imagine you're sitting there and all of a sudden you see the Boba Fett and then they cast out this tiny little fishing rod with a hook and it comes flying in, pops into your little Jimmy and starts tugging you back and you're like,
exactly.
No, don't do it. Oh, hang on, it's 130 quid. They can't be that bad, can they?
The thing is, full disclosure, I went into this knowing how much of a sack of shit company they are.
Definitely.
I went in knowing.
Yeah.
So I was expecting.
You threw your hat in the ring, as it were, and you kind
the way I kind of saw it was, if it goes tits up, I'll get my money back.
Yeah, you would like a 60% chance I might actually get it, and
yeah, exactly. But I'm kind of thinking they're just a sack of shit, and I don't know why I bothered with them. But yeah, other than that, I've got nothing new other than some 40k stuff that I forgot all about till about 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that in the custom section.
But yeah, so look, let's have a look at some of the lovely stuff that's come out in
new releases.
The Dark Trooper is here, one of my cancelled pre-orders. So a Dark Trooper will set you back 205 quid. I'm not regretting cancelling it. I don't think it's a terrible figure.
No.
I wish I've seen a lot of photos of this in hand, and if you don't light it properly, it goes from looking awesome to looking like a pile of shit in about 2 seconds flat.
Yeah, I thought that because I sent you that picture and it looked like like some guy, just as you say, was it lit by his son's dinosaur lamp, taken on a Nokia 3310.
The photo was literally like there was all this shit in the background, like a writing desk and a load of shit all in the background, and literally like someone had got their like phone light and gone and taken it with like a Nokia 3310.
Yeah,
like,
so you
wow,
go
that's
from
bad.
like these professional shots that it looks really good to that where it looks like a 10 quid. You know, and the thing that made me think of was you know, like when Lego made those like the Darth Vader and that, and they got those massive feet. That's the thing that I honed in on. The feet look massive. And I'm sure it's probably all fine, like it was all just distortion and stuff, but it's the way it's a real good example of how you can make a figure look really shit, you know, if it's not lit properly and posed properly, and it does sort of fall into that danger area that, you know, you might not have it looking as good as it could do.
Yeah. I mean, I generally quite like it. Like, I think it's a pretty good figure, and and it's not, you know, 200. It sounds bad, doesn't it? We're going 205 ain't too bad. It's fucking terrible, but compared to some of the other prices we're going to find out today, it's not too bad.
No, and obviously the eyes and the chest box light up. So again, you've got that issue where, you know, if it's not lit up, it's a little bit dead looking.
You have
this
it with
one,
C-3PO and R2.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this one doesn't have a USB socket. Obviously, that's a new thing that's kind of just coming in, and one of the other figures we're about to look at actually has got it. This would have been a good idea to have, because then obviously you could have it permanently lit up, and the brightness isn't as much of an issue as a lightsaber. I mean, lighting a couple of eyes and it's fine. It's, you know, I think the lightsabers are going to be a bit lame, but this would work fine. And obviously you can buy third-party kits and stuff to do it, but it would have been nice if they'd brought that in on this figure, I think. But yeah, it's okay. It's decent. I think a lot of people will want it to recreate the Luke entrance scene.
Yes.
Because he comes with like a half cut in half one, doesn't he? The figure as well.
Yeah, if you go for the like super duper deluxe one, you get the one that's all been crushed floating.
Yeah, so that would be quite cool with a full figure as well.
Yeah.
To do that scene, but it's quite obviously very scene specific, or if you want it with Mando. But yeah, it's okay. It's not one for me, but
generally I think they're pretty
bad.
Cool. And then while we're on Mando, we got this, which we mentioned earlier, 135 quid for the Grogu collectible set. The Loth Cat is pretty cool. Like I said, I'm not too bothered about Jesus Grogu, Dick in a Box Grogu. I quite like the pram, but like someone said in the chat, it's weird that you don't get a way to close the pram like you did on the other pram.
Yeah.
Here we go. No pram cover. Yeah. It's weird.
So are you actually getting 3 Grogus or just
3?
2?
Yeah.
You get 3.
So I would imagine that bottom Grogu and that one in the pram, the bodies are both exactly the same.
Just the same, it's just a different head. Yeah,
and then those heads are the ones that you get. So I think that bottom one's a new head with the
open mouth
ears. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you'll be able to swap these 2 heads out with one another, like you kind of do
Yeah.
with the little one and the one in the pram.
Yeah.
I mean, 130 quid's a bit steep for that, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
But is what it is. That's Hot Toys these days.
Yeah, I think it's one of those kind of like unnecessary, but if you absolutely love this guy and you want everything that he could possibly come with, then, fine.
Yeah, and I guess,
it's all right.
like, if you want that Series 2 look at the moment, and you want Grogu, you kind of need that pram.
Yeah.
And this, at the moment, is the only way to get that pram.
Yeah, and as I say, maybe people will pick them up and split them out, stuff like that. When was he in the sleeping bag? I don't even remember him being in.
I cannot remember.
In his swaddling clothes.
The swaddling, with really bad dry brushing.
Yeah.
Awful dry brushing on that. I was like, I looked at it, I was like, oh, hang on, that's... Yeah, don't even make it even. That's awful.
Very, very little effort put into that one. I think they're just like, fuck it. No one's going to display that one anyway.
Yeah. It's almost like while they were making it, they were like, oh, this is just so fucking
Can't be
pointless.
bothered. I can't be bothered anymore. Just,
Done in the same factory, they do those 20p things in a ball. That you they just went, nah, fuck it. Can't be asked for it.
Definitely.
Nonsense. Yeah. There you go. That's right. When little vagina
and then he got
was racing back
before he got killed by the
naughty
scout troopers, and they got him. Yeah,
that's the kiddie.
Fair enough.
Cool. And
well, Quill is coming, so I suppose if you want to, you want to recreate that. Yeah. Let me rephrase that. He is on pre-order and will be releasing at some point, so you could always have that version for that if you wanted it.
Yeah. So this fucker is the Hot Toys Zombie Hunter Spider-Man, 200 quid. I think I've only seen probably 2 of these in the wild that people have actually bothered to put the cape on.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to keep it as like a weird Spider-Man with bangles. Fine, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, I watched Mr. Kane's unboxing. I think I think it's a real niche thing with the cape. It's a pretty good looking Spider-Man, to be honest.
Yeah.
If you just want a Spider-Man, and possibly they'll be sort of not going to fly off the shelves, so you might be able to get one at a decent price if you don't want to pay out for the others. I quite like the bangle things because I think it's kind of a bit of a retro look, maybe a bit like the 70s live action one. I think he had similar something like that. So I quite like that bit. I mean, Justin was saying that he thinks because it's designed to have the cape, that the shoulders and stuff are a bit weird, but I think it looks all right in that picture there.
No, it looks fine.
I think there's a bit of a discrepancy because obviously I think the head's got raised webbing and then it's just flat printed on the body. So there's a little bit of a mismatch there. And it almost looks like a mouth here as well. That the third, the bottom, it's like you can almost see like a nose and a mouth. And they don't all look like that. It just looks a bit...
Thanks for that, Pete. I hadn't noticed that. Now that's literally all I can see.
And obviously that is where his nose and his mouth are, but it just looks a bit like a gimp mask, doesn't it? It looks a bit gimpy.
Yeah, it's just,
but,
it's just unfortunate. That...
it is. But yeah, I don't mind it.
Now.
As a Spider-Man, I don't mind it. And if I could get one for like, I don't know, 120 quid at some point, I'd probably be tempted. But
the thing is, if you've got a Marvel collection, it's a nice Spider-Man. And
yeah, it is just a generic Spider-Man, yeah.
As it goes, the cape is almost a character on its own at this point.
Exactly, yeah.
So there's
just pose it next to it on a stand, yeah.
Yeah. But I think, I think a lot of people...
it's not bad.
Are probably in the same boat.
Yeah.
So we also have another Spider-Man, which is the Miles Morales 2020 suit. 200 quid, so the same price. I quite like this because this has got USBs and stuff in that will do the whole head sculpt.
Yeah, and I don't remember seeing that at the time. So whether they've added that in or not, but that's
I think
cool.
they have. I don't think it's. I don't think it wasn't advertised as such.
No, I don't remember
because we were thinking, how the fuck are you going to like that head sculpt?
Yeah.
because of it very much. This is very dependent on having that thing lit up.
Mm-hmm. So it's almost like they've retrofitted that, which is good because it gives you a bit of a bonus to kind of if you pre-ordered it or whatever. Or
I have seen people take the utter piss out of the arse on this though. Particularly, it's that picture on the right hand side.
Yeah,
like you kind of just want the figure to be wearing trousers. Because it just looks weird that he.
Yeah, see, I didn't put that in there. I didn't know there was talk about the arse. I just thought I'd show the back of the jacket, to be honest. But it's quite funny.
Yeah, it was on a couple of groups where they were like, "Why is he so thick?" Like those are some those ones are toit, very toit.
Yeah,
like a toy girl.
Definitely.
So yeah, but I wouldn't display my figures showing their asses anyway, so it shouldn't really be too much of a problem.
I think it's okay actually. I think I mean I've got a Miles and it's not the Miles I'd choose to have, but if you've got like a Spider-Man display and stuff, it's pretty cool. And I think he comes with quite a few accessories and stuff, doesn't he? So it's different and it's quite cool.
Lane, what do you guys think about the USB lighting on this guy? Yeah, I like it. I think it's a good idea. If I'm right in saying it just hangs out the back though, doesn't it? Like just underneath the jacket. Yeah. I don't see how they could have done it any other way, if I'm honest.
Yeah. And it's a little bit tricky because he's obviously someone that I figure you might want to have kind of dynamically posed, but the cables are fairly small and you can hide them as best you can.
Yeah, they've probably done it so you can then plug it in and then run it down the stand.
Yeah.
Because it'll have one of those bendy flight pole things.
Yeah, exactly. So, you can hide the cables to a large extent anyway. Depends how much. I mean, on this, as you say, they've probably got a way of doing it. But even with like the
His ass is tight because it's clenched to the cable.
Yeah, definitely. With the CCFL lightsabers, I'm not too bothered about the wires, to be honest, because they're very, very tiny. And obviously, but you can go to town and feed it through all their clothes and all that sort of thing if you want to, but it makes it very difficult if you suddenly want to take that off and give it to somebody else. So I don't worry about it too much, to be honest. But
no, it's kind of like Lane's picked. He's picked up a good point that it's one of those figures. Like we said before, it needs to be lit all the time because it's just
exactly
black otherwise.
Yeah, so it's good that they've done it with this one.
It would have been nice if you kind of got a completely blank head sculpt that you needed to have powered on, and then another head sculpt with that decals or something, so that you had so that if you didn't want to have to, when it's in your collection, you don't want to have everything turned on. You've got the option that is sitting there, and you know who it is. It doesn't just look like something with a really smooth black head with nothing, nothing lit up.
Yeah, and I don't mind. I know you're like not a fan of light up stuff. I think the biggest issue it gives you if you're someone that moves your collection around a lot and swaps things around, then it becomes a real pain in the arse. I'm not so bothered because my shelves are basically they're set out and they're not going to move, so I don't mind feeding all the cables in for the sabers and stuff like that. But obviously, it does become a bit of an issue if you want to hide it all away and kind of drill it out the side of the cabinet, and then you think, I need to move all these to that shelf because I've run out of room, and then it becomes a real pain in the arse.
Yeah.
So I like them, I like it, but you've got to kind of be more set in where you want to put stuff and keep it there. But yeah.
No, I know what you mean. But on the whole, it's not a terrible release.
No, that's okay.
But to be fair, with an energy crisis going on as well, you probably don't want a figure that has to be lit up all the time with the cost of electricity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
so it's not too bad.
Yeah. No.
So next up, we have the X06Q, £170 plus shipping direct from X06. I love this. Yeah, this looks really good. Yeah, it's bare bones. Because he didn't, when we first saw him, he sat in a chair.
Yeah,
that was pretty much all he did.
Yeah.
I would have loved it if this came with an alternative head sculpt as well, where it was just without the hat, just another head sculpt as a nice little bonus, so that when you start to get more figures and more Star Trek stuff, you could just plonk his head on to a Starfleet uniform.
Yeah, someone said something about that, and Nanjin said that he made some comment about it. But because I don't know what's under this hat, whether it's, you know, how much of the sculpt is there, to be honest. You know, does it have ears? Does it have hair? I don't know.
I doubt they would have sculpted all that detail and painted it all if you're never going to see it. If the thing is with Q is he's a bit like Stan Lee, so there's nothing to say that, you know, in a year's time you could have a different version of Q. Yeah. He literally, you know, for me, if you're going to do add-on packs or anything like that, Q is the perfect person.
Oh, definitely.
To just have anything. Head sculpt, a few hands, and a few kind of Star Trek-y accessories. Boom. Yeah. People would buy it because it's I'm pleased to see this. I mean, I'm not. It's not a figure I want to own because it's very scene specific, and you know. But I'm just really pleased with the quality of the stuff that's coming out. Fantastic. I mean, that the clothing and stuff looks brilliant. That head sculpt is bang on, and it's just, you know, they have. Some people have criticised some of the recent head sculpts like 7 and 9 and Michael Burnham, but I think this one's good, really good. Yeah. And obviously, you know, there's a few Exo 6 figures that I'm waiting for with bated breath, and just to see the sort of continuing quality is get me really excited for those figures. And the prices are still good. So fantastic.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah,
I must admit I'm quite excited for more X06.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. So that was everything that had come out. The weird, the wonderful, the USB powered. So let's have a look at
coming soon.
I hadn't really heard much about this one. If I'm completely honest.
No. He sneaked in.
It did. It snuck right in. So this is Vader from Kenobi. There are 4 different versions. Now,
the usual.
We say there's 4 different versions. They've done what they normally do. So you have a standard and a deluxe, and each of those have a special edition version, which has this little hologram of the Inquisitor. I've got a box of these from different figures, little bullshit holograms that are just... I don't use them for anything. I think the only hologram I've used was for Dooku, where he's got the Death Star plans, because that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, that's quite cool.
Other than that...
But it just becomes a bit confusing when you've got 4 different versions, but they're, you know, it's...
Yeah. So with this, you've really got the standard and the deluxe. Now, the standard is 250 and the deluxe is 280. The standard literally is the battle damage Vader with a rock stand. The deluxe has that quarter scale stand scaled down, which is the top of the quarter scale Vader stand that they've given you there. Swap out chest box and helmet for a clean looking Vader. By now, if you want a Vader and you don't have one, what the fuck's wrong with you? For me, this is such a smart idea, because people have been waiting for their Ultimate Vader for a while, so having one with swap out battle damage pieces is a cracking idea. But then giving people just a standard battle damaged one, for people like me who are like, I have a Vader, I don't want a standard, I will quite happily have a fucked up one. So I quite like this.
I think that actually, although you'd go for the standard one, I think for an extra £30, I know that's Hong Kong prices, but that's not bad for a helmet, a chest box, and the base. You know, that's definitely worth it if you want those bits. I would say
100%, 100%.
You know,
it's a fantastic looking Vader. I really like it. Really like the split open helmet. It's
and he has a posable eye, one posable eye.
He's got his one posable eye.
They keep talking about this line of sight thing, don't they? It's like that's their new buzzword, phrase, line of sight.
You know.
So basically, he can change where he's looking. Yeah.
Yeah, it's purse. Like it looks like a duck, talks like a duck. It's a fucking duck. It's purse.
Yeah.
Like, let's not be it's nothing new. So, yeah. I mean, it looks great. I'm very tempted to get the battle.
Yeah, me too. I like it. Yeah.
At least wait until someone either copies the helmet or parts one out, because actually, I'd be quite happy with just the helmet on its own. So yeah, I like it. I think it's good. I wouldn't mind one.
Yeah. No, definitely really cool, and we've been waiting for this one ever since Kenobi was announced. So yeah, it's good to get on this one.
100%. I like the rock base as well. The rock base is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm quite tempted with this. I won't be pre-ordering, but I think when he, in a couple of years' time when he releases, I might be tempted.
I'm trying not to pre-order anything this year because I just think it's a waste of time. Because what you're pre-ordering isn't necessarily what you're going to get, because they tend to change stuff, and the prices are all over the show. I saw one of these up for pre-order with a deposit of £195.
Oh blimey, the deposit!
And I was like, I'm not gonna deposit.
No, and I think the other thing as I kind of touched on earlier is at the moment, the exchange rate for the pound is shocking against anything really, either the Hong Kong dollar or the US dollar. So obviously, if you pre-order this today and you pay some significant portion of it, then you're maybe not getting the best deal. Whereas who knows, in 2 years' time, hopefully things aren't quite as bad. And you potentially get it for a better price, because those Hong Kong, they're not the banger deals that they were, that you think, oh, I'm definitely gonna have to get it from them. There are more. They're still going to be cheaper than Sideshow, with the add-ons and stuff, but they're not like, oh, that's a no-brainer now. They're a bit more.
Even with Sideshow, like, it's not. The price difference isn't huge like it used to be. You used to save yourself sort of 70 quid, 70, 80 quid. Yeah. You don't now. You're kind of looking at 30, 40 quid at the very most.
Yeah.
So things aren't a massive
No,
gulf.
it's mainly you're just getting it earlier, really.
Yeah.
It's not so much a
it's almost
saving.
gone full circle, which is how it started out. Back when the HK sellers popped up. You were paying like 40 quid more and getting it earlier, and that was fine.
Yeah.
You weren't spending like 100, 200 quid more and getting it like a week earlier. And people telling you it's fantastic. So things are fucked up at the moment, but it will level out.
I just put some other pictures there. So there's the swap out box, close up of the head sculpt. So I really love it. It looks really cool. And obviously they've teased the Grand Inquisitor in the background there. So
loving the Grand Inquisitor.
Well, they won't they? We've seen a lot of background characters, but they've shown his face. So hopefully we'll. It's not something that I would want to get, but I think this will go well with this line.
To be fair, the Inquisitors, if you've got any Imperials in your collection, like, it will go in, it will fit in fine. So I'm liking it. I'm liking the Inquisitor. I would quite happily have one of them. 100%.
Does he come with two stomachs? What does that mean?
Oh, because he got stabbed in the gut, didn't he?
Oh,
and survived.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I was going to say to Car 3, if that was the difference, if it's a $20 difference, I would be ordering all my stuff from the States. So look, while we're talking about Tin Men who have been horribly disfigured, Hot Toys have also mentioned a Pearl Robocop. So this is Robocop from Robocop 3, the best Robocop film.
Never seen it.
No, I wouldn't waste your time.
No.
280 quid for a regular, 330 for a deluxe, and the difference is that little chess piece. well worth 30 quid. That.
Yeah, so that's the difference. That's not worth it, but the Vader is worth 30 quid any day.
Yeah,
So it's funny,
exactly.
isn't it? They have these real discrepancies between like what you get and the differences and stuff. Yeah.
So this is out Q4 this year to Q1 next year.
Really?
Want, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I want a Robocop, big time. Like, I've sold both of my Robocops like a bell end back when they weren't that hard to get.
Yeah.
So for me, 280 quid for a Robocop is fucking blinding. So
Yep.
I'm going to get one of these when it comes out, assuming that I haven't had to burn all my figures for firewood.
Yeah.
At the beginning of next year.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
that's the thing. Everything's meant to shoot back up January. So if I have a spare 280 notes just after Christmas, which is very unlikely, I will pick one up. If not, I will just not. But yeah, I like this Robocop.
Yeah, I think as you said, you've got to forget that it's Robocop 3 because it's either you've seen it and you know it's shit, or you've not even seen it like me. And I'm a big Robocop fan. I wasn't really a massive fan of the second one, to be honest. But obviously, if you, as you say, if you haven't got one or you've got rid of one and everything, and obviously this has got the more bluey purple paint job as well, which a lot of people spent money getting their original ones repainted. So if you like that,
the thing is, you had he was like that in RoboCop 2 and 3.
yes,
And then in the TV series as well, he was like that.
Yeah.
So it's only really RoboCop 1 that he's kind of silver, and then from 2 onwards, and the films and the TV shows and that, he's got this pearl finish over the top. So
so I think if you, as you say, if you want this, you see it as a Robocop 2 version. You don't display the jetpack, and obviously, as I was reading something, obviously he wasn't even played by Peter Weller, but they've gone with Peter Weller faceplate, so that's cool.
yeah.
So
because to be fair, the guy underneath the suit did look a lot like him.
Yeah,
like
and you
so
only saw his mouth, presumably, anyway. So.
Yeah. And this is the second RoboCop. This is the second version of this figure they've made.
Yeah, it's a reboot from like 15 years ago.
Yeah, because you still see it come up. It was one of the old school Hot Toys where it would come in the box, and all the arms and legs would all be off, and you'd have to click them all together. It's nice. See, I don't have an issue with them going back and revisiting figures from. As far as I'm concerned, anything over 10 years is fair game. Not a problem. So I have no issue.
It's just odd. What do you think suddenly sparked this one?
I think if you look at the last, say, 5 years, it's all been Marvel, Star Wars, Marvel, Star Wars, Marvel, Star Wars. Other than TV series, we don't have a lot of Star Wars stuff coming out. So we've got all these TV shows, and kind of we're on that Mandalorian train and Obi-Wan at the moment. Marvel aren't really doing anything that impressive. They're not pumping out films and content as quickly as they used to do. So the Marvel train is kind of coming to us. It's slowed right down. So I think Hot Toys, and with the competition from InArt and things like that, I think Hot Toys are now looking back at their back catalogue and going, what have we got here? What do we hold licenses for that's iconic and people are spending an absolute arm and a leg to get on the secondary market, because they're the figures that are going to sell.
So what interests me is it's like, how long do these licenses run that they buy? Because they obviously took out the Robocop license when they brought out the original figures, and that's got to be 7-8 years ago. It's just interesting, isn't it? Have they got this license like indefinitely, or a 10-year license?
It was weird that they went, because they did it in the first instance as well. They went Robocop 1 then 3.
Yeah.
They never touched 2. So unless they don't have the license for 2, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Or it's about to, they have got the license is going to expire soon, so they might, they want to get another figure out of it or something. It's an odd one, but
yeah, I mean, even looking at the stuff they showed at SDCC, there's a lot there that have those older 10-year plus figures that they've kind of gone,
Yeah.
ta-da! And I think it's sensible. And if you look at what's not so much with this, but say like the Batman, like if you look at the third-party companies that are like pumping out nickels and jokers, it makes sense for them to go, oh, that Batman we did, here you go, here's a new one, fill your boots. If you look at all the third-party companies hitting all the Nolan stuff, it makes sense. It's why they're looking at people paying fucking 500 quid for a DX12 to go, here you go, here's a new Batman. It makes sense. Like so to me, I kind of get it, and I'm quite happy with it. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah. No, I don't have a problem with it. It's just funny. It's just very much came out of left field, that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool.
Cool. So we also have now this is a mouthful. The Hot Toys Spider-Man No Way Home Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Fucking mouthful.
Yeah.
So again, regular edition 302 and the deluxe 320 at Q4 2020. Well, Q4 this year, Q1 next year. I think this looks fantastic.
What's the price difference between the two?
20 quid. One's 3...
Again...
Well, 18 quid.
Yeah. Why the hell would you not go with the deluxe and get the Sandman base for 20 quid?
I mean, it depends, because I've got to the point now where space is a bit of a premium. All right, I can spend an extra 18 quid and get this fantastic base, which will look great when I set up on a table and take some photos.
Yeah.
But then when I take it off and put it in there...
I've got nowhere to put it,
I've got nowhere to put it.
No.
So... Oh, sorry, 2023 to 2024, not 2022.
Yeah.
And that's the same with Robocop as well, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice one, Mr. Kramer. So the only thing I'm not a big fan of on this, which I don't think looks tremendously accurate, is the rubberized blue parts.
Right. Yeah.
Because they were more material than they were.
Yeah, because they've got the material on the red part, and you can see that there. But
I'm so hung up on the version I used to have that I'm like, they should be more materially.
Yeah.
Than the weird, because to me that looks like an Amazing Spider-Man type material.
Yeah.
But then when I think about actually in No Way Home, it did look more kind of rubbery. But yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's cool. I like it. I like the fact that they've called it the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. That's quite funny, just to kind of distinguish it. And did someone say that they've rebranded the Garfield one now to the No Way Home rather than... Have
they? I'm not sure.
AMS2, yeah. I think the Tobey Maguire sculpt is banging.
Oh,
this is fantastic.
Shrink ray.
That is a shrink ray, yep, definitely. Yeah. And it's obviously captured him at his age now as well, and not gone for a... Whereas the Garfield one's a little bit more, if it's from ASM2, then that's fine, or blah, blah, blah. But yeah, this looks brilliant. I saw the sculpt. I was like, yeah,
the way Hot Toys have been carrying on, that Garfield sculpt's going to get revisited.
Yeah,
you can
definitely. Tell. Yeah, but this one's fantastic.
Yeah. Because this is my Spider-Man. These are the... when I think of Spider-Man, I think Tobey Maguire, like that.
So would you be picking this up, do you think?
I'm staying well clear of Marvel.
Yeah, really, yeah. Because I've gone back in with Spider-Man. That's my weakness. But
yeah, Spider-Man and X-Men are the ones that could drag me back in.
Yeah.
And when I say X-Men, I mean it has to be like cartoon.
Yeah, you're not talking about the Wolverine that we had on last show and stuff like that.
Yeah. As much as I love Hugh Jackman, it would have to be those animated ones. And this is very tempting to pull me back in.
So I think the only one we need now is the suit at the end of Tom Holland's new suit at the end of the movie,
so
and
that is about level pegging with this for me, about pulling me back in.
Yeah. So surely that can't be far off announcement with all of these guys all coming up now. So
100%. 100%. So, Marvel, we got the Mighty Thor from Love and Thunder, and for some reason they're not going to show us Natalie Portman's face. they blur that out as though she's some kind of witness and we don't know who she is.
Yeah.
Like it's a big reveal. I'm not a fan of the mask sculpt. I don't think it looks that great. But again, this is at about the same time as the others.
Do you think it's going to be two heads, or is it going to be a swap out, take the hair off, put the helmet with the hair on?
The way they blurred it out makes me think it's going to be a swap out hair.
I think it is, yeah.
And then that top piece just sits over the top.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
But
I think it's
then-
one sculpt, but
then you're going to get loads of paint rub on that.
yeah, potentially. I just don't think they don't tend to give you two head sculpts anymore, and this is a fairly bare bones kind of. It's not a deluxe or a DX or anything like that. So, yeah, and obviously you've got the battle damage one, which with the half of the face piece missing. Yeah, I keep reading that there's issues with Natalie Portman's likeness rights and stuff, and that's why Padme has never actually been gone up for pre-order, and potentially the same issue here. But obviously they're intending on having an unmasked sculpt, so maybe they're just finalising, still working on that sculpt to get a sign off from her. Because to be honest, that doesn't look anything like her with the mask.
No.
Like that jaw and stuff, I know it's only a little bit of the face, but I can't see any of Natalie Portman in that at all.
See, I thought with all the Marvel stuff, they signed all their likeness rights over to Disney. So I think it would be someone at Disney, not Natalie Portman, for Marvel. That is, I don't. Obviously, it's a completely different deal for what she signed up for Star Wars. But that's what I heard, which was because I think Robert Downey Jr. said something about it. About when they were saying, "Oh look, your face is on this, like all this like really weird stuff," and he was like, he said, "I don't have any say of what it goes on, what it looks like. It's just." It
would make sense with that as soon as they offer the part that they sign away their likenesses. Yeah, I mean, so I hope it's a good sculpt because obviously everyone's keen to get a Padme, and this will be an older sculpt, like an older, but it's an interesting. They've done this with other figures where they've blurred out I think they're just finalising, and hopefully at some point in the next couple of months they'll do an update thing and say, we've got a final sign off on this, and hopefully it's decent. And it may well be that's a bit of a stand-in sculpt with the helmet on, because it's not good if it isn't.
It just doesn't look great.
No.
Yeah, not great. Like Stephen says, it looks like a third-party figure.
Yeah.
So, still on.
I just shout out to Stephen because he bought my second Scout Trooper.
There you go.
Cheers for that. Cheers for that, mate. Yeah. I hope you're enjoying him. Yep.
Nice one. So
he's down in Kent. He's not a million miles from us.
Oh, he's a Kent boy.
He is a Kent boy. Yeah.
Yeah, we weren't insulting him. Kent's an actual place.
Yeah. It's not. We're not.
We don't have a list, but it is Kent. So while we're on Marvel, the Iron Man Mark III 2.0, even taller. So they've made this one taller, and it will cost you how much? $330 for the standard and $414 for the special edition. Out Q4 2023 to Q1 2024.
So you only get that mask though, and it's like £100.
Pretty much. I think. They're the two options that were on line.
Yeah, I think they've made a mistake there, surely.
Oh, I'd say it's probably the base. I bet one of them comes with the base and one of them doesn't.
So there could be 4 versions of this then. So there could be a regular special edition and a deluxe special edition.
Yeah,
and
more than likely.
Probably.
More than likely. I mean, I think the head sculpt.
Yeah, because that's quite a. Yeah, I mean it's a big ass base. It's that would make the difference. Yeah. Yeah, the head sculpt's good.
Fucking huge.
Yeah, he is.
So, like, that is going to be massive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I really like this. If I was gonna get back into Marvel and I said I want an Iron Man, this is probably one of the most iconic suits.
Yeah, Mark III's really popular, and it's one that needed redoing, because if you have him next, when you see the pictures of the other one, he's far too short. You know, it's the proportions aren't great. He's got the pink pants on most people's versions, probably.
Yeah, it looks like Danny DeVito got an Iron Man
yeah.
suit.
Yeah,
it's
so
tiny,
it was definitely
really
due for an update, and this does look really good. But again, I'm out. Apart from Spidey, I'm out of Marvel. So, but yeah, it's cool if you want to pick it up, and I would go with the base, because I think the base looks really good, and I presume the Ironmonger's eyes light up by the looks of it.
Yeah, I think they do.
That'd be cool.
The thing is, it's just we're getting $330 for a standard for $414.
Yeah, it's eye watering. Yeah,
it's just, you know, I'm not being funny. I paid £500 for my first car. You know, £75 more.
That's not the one you had to climb in through the back.
No,
was it?
No. This is one where I blew the head gasket going from Crawley to Croydon in 20 minutes every day. So yeah, no wonder I fucked that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just too much.
Yeah, like Andre's happy with the Mark 7. I think the cool thing with Iron Man is that, you know, most people have got a favourite suit. Just go for the one that you like. You know, and that's and there's something to please everyone, really, and they're all decent figures. So yeah. They're too expensive to be collecting the whole, you know, the whole armory set.
Yeah. You're eating fucking ramen noodles for the next 22 years if you every single one.
Definitely.
So now we're going to flip over to DC. Peacemaker. So they have re-chromed the helmet. They have given you seamless arms. They have redone the John Cena sculpts. I really quite liked the Peacemaker TV series, so I'm quite happy that they've finally done it.
Yeah, I haven't got around to watching it. But everyone says how funny it is.
It is good. It is good. So I now see John Cena in those sculpts, whereas I didn't really before.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now you're getting a whole extra sculpt on top as well. So, yeah, I'm happy with it. Not happy enough for me to pre-order.
No,
because it would be one of those. Although it would kind of fit in with my Batman stuff, I could get away with it there. Yeah, I think fair play on them.
And they're showing the gun now, because there was some question about whether or not he'd come with a gun, wasn't there? With all these silly. But I think obviously this shows that's.
I don't think that really. I don't think that really affects us. I think that's just smaller scale stuff.
Right. Okay.
But yeah. This is great. I would be very tempted by this now.
Yeah. I think he was all right. I've only seen him in Suicide Squad, but it's just a very odd look, that helmet and the, you know.
There's a really, really good bit, and it gets clipped all the time, where his dad's neighbours shouting at him, and kind of compares him to Batman, and he's like, Batman's a bitch. He locks the Joker up every year just for him to escape and kill fucking hundreds of people. He said he's too much of a bitch just to put him in the ground.
Yeah.
Really good. I love this. I think it's great. So, back to Marvel. This melted candle CGI fucking nightmare. That is Morbius, £210 out Q3, Q4 2023. Haven't seen the film.
No, I don't know anyone that has.
We'll only watch the film if it's free, because I've not heard great things.
I don't think I'll even bother if it's even then. Just not interested at all.
No, I want to see if it's as bad as people say. I'm not. So I think as a figure, I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
But no matter what you do, he's always going to be snarling, and I don't know if he does that all the way through the film when he's like this. So it's one of those, like, you kind of have to have him a bit dynamic, because otherwise it's just going to look like he's a mental case.
Yeah,
Just standing
and
there
it's,
going,
and it's fun, isn't it? Because poor old Jared Leto's getting a bit of a reputation for being a bit crap in, with the
stay away
Joker
from comic stuff.
And it's a shame, because I'm a massive 30 Seconds to Mars fan, and as a singer, he's fantastic. But he's he's, and I know he's done other films and stuff. He's done some more serious stuff, and he's got praise for that. But I think he's a couple of turns in the DC and Marvel universes have not gone well.
Problem is, he's one of those. He's up his own arse, where he's like, I have to method act. So he effectively acts like a cunt for like a month of his life. And then turns out no one fucking likes him anyway. So you just think, well, was it worth the aggro? So just
an odd one, and I suppose they're committed to it. They'd put the R&D into it way before they knew it was going to be shit. So they've got to push through with it. But it's not gonna be a big seller. And again, it might be a future bargain basement if you fancy.
I mean, if you were going to do like a rogues gallery, you could slot it in. And kind of have your main Spider-Man bad guys.
But it's a sort of one where if it was a third party, it was a So-So Toys, it was 120 quid, you could go, I'll take that. But how much is this?
$210. Yeah, so it's a lot.
And it's bare bones. There's not a lot there. Yeah. Hands, a stand, and some little bat things.
Yeah. It's not amazing. Amazing. So it's a no from us. Yeah. But then we do have a stand for 115 quid. Which is this thing. So the SL Customs Sandfighter. So Sandman from Spider-Man No Way Home. 115 quid, Q4 2022 is what it is. 115 quid, I don't think it looks too bad. I think it's weird that the neck isn't textured and the upper arms aren't. Because I'd get it if they gave you like two head sculpts. So you had his normal head sculpt and then the sand version. Then it would kind of look a bit better. But I mean, it
kind of works because obviously he does transition from he transforms through the sand, becomes the clothing and stuff. So you can work it that he's mid transformation kind of thing. I quite like it actually, and for the price, I think if you got a Spider-Man or whatever you want, a villain, I think it worked quite well. To be honest. For
115 quid, it's pretty good. And to be fair, you can rough up the neck with.
As you said, you can get some special paint, textured paint, and
Games Workshop do a technical range, so they do. So Citadel do a technical range, and there's like a mud type effect where it's loads of grit. So if you literally dab that all on its neck and then painted it, it would blend in. It would look fine. I think the problem here is that because it's such a contrast, and that is going to give you such a sharp line between skin and then khaki face. That But for 115 quid, we can forgive that type of shit. They're not going 250 quid and look, it's 115.
Yeah, exactly. And it's giving everybody options. If they want to collect the whole villain set, there's pretty much an option out there, either official or third party from all of them now. So it's good. Like to see.
I mean, just do what Hot Toys have done and just jab a flight pole into the back of it. Just call it a stand. It's fine. It's not a problem. So that's the Sandman. And then Storm Collectibles are rocking the shit out of Sub-Zero's outfit by dipping it in black dye. And they're doing a Sabat for... there's no price or release date as of yet.
I think the others are about 180, so probably similar price. I don't know the character at all. I've not played Mortal Kombat 11. I don't know how long this guy's been around. It just made me laugh that they're bashing out another figure in the same outfit.
Yeah.
And he's obviously still got those really janky elbows. It almost makes him look like a robot, and it would work if he was, but because they're like the battle droid. They look like the battle droid elbows, don't they?
Yeah, I think you have no choice with these but to set them up as though they're fighting. To kind of, if you get the arms up like that,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so you could the fisting elbow kind of thing. You can get you'll hide all of that. It would be nice if it wasn't so in your face, but
it's almost like the like Marfix stuff where they've gone for the posability and to hell with what it looks like. You kind of just got to pass your eye over it. But as you say, if he's got fists up like this, then it'll hide those. And
I think you probably get it in some quite dynamic poses where you're not going to see them. Then another one for me, it would look great taking photos because you get him some real dynamic stuff. But as soon as it goes back in the display case, it's kind of like,
or just get like if this one, just get a couple of little bits of black cloth and just glue them around the elbows, and that takes care of that anyway. So
there's things you can do to hide it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
So Storm Collectibles again, and then Mars Toys. I love these people. So they did my Joker, the Nicholson Joker. Absolutely loved it. So they are also doing a Keaton Batman, but as Bruce Wayne, obviously.
Yep.
This looks fantastic.
It does.
Absolutely
really good.
Fantastic. It's 120 quid.
Yeah.
Out Q4
I think
2022.
it's cool.
That's mental.
Yeah. I like it. I think a lot of people have been bashing it, but I think the sculpt's pretty good. I think with the glasses on, it's even stronger.
It looks way better with the glasses. He looks a bit boss-eyed without, but with the glasses,
definitely.
he looks fantastic.
It does, and it's perfectly captured that late 80s, early 90s tuxedo cut, stuff like that. I like it. I think if I still had an 89 Batman, or was still collecting that stuff, I definitely want to get one of these. I think it's better than the Keaton sculpt that Hot Toys did.
100%. I'm tempted to get one just to pair it with my Nicholson Joker.
Mm-hmm.
I could do the whole I could do the whole apartment scene.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, and then obviously they've shown a couple of other sculpts they've been working on. All look great.
And you were quite happy
that
the funny. Yeah, but that was quite good quality, wasn't it? That Joker, the outfit and stuff.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
My only gripe was the weird buttons they put on the on kind of the waistcoat, because they just needed to have the eyelets a little bit smaller so they didn't kind of fall forward.
Yeah.
But mate, it's fantastic. I think I put a bit of a wash and did a little bit of additional paintwork to the sculpt just to bring it out a bit. But I think I paid 140, 150 for that, and it's
and it comes with a lot of stuff as well, doesn't it? This is all bare bones, but
so much stuff. I mean, to be fair, other than a cursory batarang that most companies seem to give a Bruce Wayne. I don't know what else you'd give him. But this is great. I think I would be very tempted to get to put with my Joker. Definitely.
Yeah, I like it. It's good.
100%. And with XO6, so before we came on, we had to Google what this was called because we both forgotten.
Throw it out to the chat and see if anybody knows what that thing is called.
Yeah. So while we talk about this teased war figure,
there's no prizes or anything.
He's Sash. What do you think it's called? Because it took us a little while to remember. I say remember, I mean Google it. But they've teased a Next Generation Worf.
Yeah.
Which I'm super happy about.
So the significance of this is obviously they've teased. We've seen Worf before. We've seen him on like some of the displays and stuff, and so he's definitely coming. But they've been working a lot on this piece because they weren't sure how they were going to do it, and obviously Nanjing wanted to kind of do it justice. So as far as I understand, they are all like where you see the grey like leather. That is real leather has to be threaded through those eyelets. Piece by piece, if you like. So it's very labour intensive, but obviously, we all know that Nanjing XO6 he wants screen accuracy, and they'll go that extra Yay! Well done,
There we
Andre.
go.
It is. It is. Yeah, it was.
It is.
Yeah, definitely. Like in this country, we Baldric is only one thing for Baldric, and that is Blackadder.
Yeah, Blackadder's little
Absolute
mate.
legend. Yeah. So I mean, it's really nice the the attention to detail. Hopefully, it's not going to push the price up massively. But yeah,
Thing is, because they haven't really done any of the other bridge crew from next generation yet, other than they still haven't done Picard from Next Generation.
No.
They've done it for First Contact. This is one that, as soon as it gets put up, you need to grab it.
definitely.
Because what you don't want to do is then go, right, they've now released Picard and Riker, and you go, right, I love that. I've got those,
they're
but I
gone.
really want Wolf. Ah, fuck. Oh, look, I'm spending 300 quid for Wolf.
Yeah. You got, as you say, it might not be the one you'd want to start with, but you got to get them when they go up. Get them because they are selling out. And we've seen Geordie, we've seen Riker. We've seen them on display. So they're all coming. And if you really want the TNG bridge crew, yeah, as you say, pick them up when they come, even if they're not necessarily in the order that you would choose to get them. And Worf's going to be very popular, I think.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I'm very much looking forward to the whole Next Generation crew. Big time. Big time.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that was just an update on that they've finally cracked how they're going to do that. So hopefully hopefully we'll start seeing some of these next gen figures going up for pre-orders soon.
So what we thought we'd do next, instead of doing shenanigans, is go straight into San Diego Comic-Con and some of the stuff that's piqued our interest from that.
Yep.
Cool.
So I think some of this stuff I put in kind of before, like the releases were solicited. So I put in this, obviously the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. We've now seen the full pre-order and everything, but this is the first look that people got of. Hey, Ian, Pete, have any of you bought any of those Big Chief Doctor Who figures? Are they any good, Lane? I've owned one. I owned the Fourth Doctor. Good figure, but very expensive for what they are. And you've repainted some of the sculpts and stuff.
So I owned the Matt Smith Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Loads of accessories. Was relatively cheap at the time.
Yeah.
At the time, it was about 160. Tailoring was really good. They gave you quite a nice backdrop in there of the TARDIS, of the interior of the TARDIS.
Yeah.
The paint wasn't great, so it needed repainting because the sculpts are very good, but the paint's very flat. And then I've done a couple of the Scottish one. He's coming back to Doctor Who. Converse trainers.
David Tennant.
David Tennant, that's it, sorry. Yeah. And I've repainted a couple of David Tennants. Again, really good sculpts, just really flat paint. What they do, which is quite good, is all of the hands on them are like the soft rubber. So they don't look shit, but they hold stuff really well because you can manipulate them a bit. So yeah, they're pretty good if you can get them at a reasonable price.
Yeah, I think the problem is their prices have gone up massively, and they've got those Daleks they're going to bring out, and they're like $250 a pop. Yeah, that's a lot of money for a lump of plastic. And like the TARDISes are really good, but they're £400 or £500, and I think there's a lot of QC issues with them because they're polished stone or something. I think so. Yes, I was a fan, but it's not. It's something that I sold my Fourth Doctor, and it's something I moved away from because I was never going to buy all of them. And to say I wasn't. Some were great, some were not so good, and I think the prices are a bit much now. So
yeah, I did a Capaldi as well. Yeah. So what with the Capaldis, for some Capaldis and some of the Tennants, they made them 2-part necks, so that the neck and the scalp were separate. Didn't look too great, so I would glue them together and fill the line and do it as a one piece, which helped quite a bit. But yeah, they're like Pete said, they're just very expensive now for what they are.
Yeah. So back to these, we'll just run through. I just these aren't all the photos. It's just mostly hot toys. I just sort of grouped them together. So we've got the Spider-Mans and the Vulture there that obviously we talked about previous
It gives
show.
us a bit of a better look at them, to be fair. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the bunching up in the crotch area for the
No.
Spider-Man figures, but
No.
it's something that just comes part and parcel with them now.
I think so. As you say, with that material.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just have to, and you know, it's just something you have to live with. And I've always been, if I buy a Spider-Man, I'm gonna pose him dynamically, and if it rucks the suit up a little bit, so be it. You know, I'm not going to be changing the pose that often, and you can kind of get it back with a bit of steam and stuff anyway. But people that buy a Spider-Man, they just have him standing up.
Yeah,
it's no point.
pointless.
Don't have it. You know.
Yeah.
Seems a silly waste of money to me. He's definitely not built for museum poses.
No.
Yeah, this is interesting. So we've got the 89 Batman there, and we've got basically like the Bat computer from the 89 movie with the big old CRT screens there. You can kind of see
awesome.
the curve of them. It does look really cool.
It does look really, really
Whether
good.
they'll bring that out or not, I don't know, but it is
do.
cool. Yeah,
I hope we get two versions, an updated just standard figure on its own, and a version with the Bat computer would be fantastic.
yeah, because even the figure that they showed on its own has got that really cool base as well with the wooden flooring from the cathedral and the gargoyle stuff. So that's it looks like they're doing something different with it, and not just be a straight.
I've seen people compare the head sculpt on that one with the 12-year-old one. It does look as though there are some differences. It doesn't look like it's just an old 12-year-old figure they've dumped something and gone.
They should
"It's a
update
standard."
it. I mean, I guess that a lot of it's not going to be. The cape still looks like dog shit.
I don't know if Hot Toys have done a single cape that looks any good other than their quarter scale stuff. Everything else they just can't do it.
No. And then we've got another sort of armory thing with the older Bruce Wayne from Dark Knight Returns. I like that. I like the cut of that suit and everything. It looks really good. And it's like what they call it, like a transparent armory or something.
Yeah. So after Wayne Manor burns down, and he's in the shipping container and goes underground, he's in that big room that they only ever use for rap videos now.
Yeah.
He has
the one where he links into all the mobile phones and.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So in there you have everything comes out the ground, and his bat suit is in a clear acrylic type thing, which is this. And then I think it's just Drake in the background giving it all that. But other than that, it's
but I don't know, I like that Bale figure. It looks really good.
Yeah, it does. It looks fantastic. Like
he's got his cane and stuff. Yeah, yeah, that was cool. Then we've got Hawkeye and
Chikara Star-Lord.
What's the girl's
Kate
name?
Bishop.
That's it. Yeah. So we've seen her before. She's been solicited, but this is the first time we've seen Hawkeye. Yeah, and T'Challa Star-Lord, which is nice. Yeah, exactly. And even if it's just a sort of tribute to Chadwick Boseman, it's a nice touch. Hopefully, it comes with an unmasked head sculpt as well. I think a lot of people will want to pick that up just to kind of, because that was his definitely his final performance as Black Panther in the What If, and I think possibly his last bit of acting work before he tragically passed away. So that's going to become a bit of a collector's piece, I think, that one.
It'll be. I think the What If line is something they could really take advantage of.
Yeah, and they do seem to. They've already confirmed there's going to be a new series, haven't they? So they could go really deep into that. And we've got a few bits and pieces from it already. So, and obviously they've got all those zombie ones that they teased and we haven't seen, like the Cap and that. So yeah. Okay, and then we've got the Mandalorian N1 Starfighter, which I had said on the last show that they would never release. But it's popped up on Sideshow as a future release.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything, does it?
No, I know.
Let's be honest, that doesn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And it's possible but this thing's massive. I suppose if you had detachable parts, it would be you could have the engines could come off and the tail could come off, and you could pack it up fairly reasonably, box wise. I dread to think how much something like that would be. 700-800, 600-800.
It's Hot Toys. We'd like to think 600-700 quid.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Hot
I'm just
Toys,
thinking like in line with like the DeLorean or something like that. Because there's probably not any more plastic on it, because it's obviously a more skeletal thing.
I just can't think of a more impractical ship for a bounty hunter.
You can't store anything in it.
No. This is if a bounty hunter's coming for you and he turns up in this, you're dead.
Yeah, because he can't take you with him.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere alive. If the bounty's slightly less for you to be dead, you're dead. He's not.
You're too much of an inconvenience. What's he going to do? Put you in a spacesuit and duct tape you to the back of it?
This is quantity, not quality. He's just going to come in.
Yeah.
Kill everyone.
Yeah, I thought exactly the same thing when I saw it. It's a brilliant episode. It's a cool ship. It's really good fun, but it makes no sense whatsoever for him doing his job, does it? He's doing his day job.
You go from the Razor Crest, which has like an armory on board with all his shit. It has compartments where he literally, first episode, he's got them lined up like they're fucking suits.
Yeah,
all in carbonite.
Carbonite, yep.
In this, unless he's got a fancy little like vibro trailer where he's just daisy chained them all along. I can't see.
Do you know what the carbonite blocks makes you think of? You know, like when you used to go into HMV back in the day and you'd flip through all the posters. It was like that, wasn't it? They're all just like they're just like flicking through them. Yeah, yeah.
That's
like,
it.
Yeah.
I'll have one of them.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. Yeah, so it is odd. I personally don't think they'll release it, but people are saying they will because it's up on Sideshow. But it's only a little black.
Was up on Sideshow.
Yeah, I know.
For a while, wasn't she?
Well, they've got a whole gallery, haven't they, of all the ones that have never been. So it'll probably just
Sideshow graveyard.
So it'll probably just go in there. But you know. And then obviously we've got Vader and Kenobi, so we've looked at both of these the last couple of shows.
He doesn't look too bad there.
He doesn't, does he?
I think it's the lighting. The lighting really helps. I mean,
this is the trouble, though, isn't it? You want one that's
going to revisit it.
Yeah, you want one that's 90% from all angles, not like 30, really bad from you don't want to just turn him slightly and you go from Russell Crowe to Noel Edmonds to William H. Macy. It's got to look like Kenobi, and that as you said, that looks good there. I wouldn't argue with that there, but it's a tricky one. I think they're going to have to revisit it. Yeah, definitely. He doesn't look as puffy faced as well. I think he looked a bit bloated in the.
Yeah,
but
100%.
that looks better. So whether it's the same sculpt or not, more promising. And obviously we talked about Vader. He looks good. And they didn't tease the. They obviously kept the reveal helmet.
There's a hell of a lot of reuse with that Vader.
Yeah,
like a hell of a lot. Like that is literally just the top of the quarter scale base.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Because I was looking at it going, that looks really familiar, and I was like,
makes more sense here because it hasn't then got that weird bit underneath it that then puts that up, another 6 inches in the air. Well, twice that with the quarter scale.
Yeah, if I put the stand together, I can't get Vader standing
weird.
up in one of these cubes. But it makes quite a nice stand for other stuff, like a nice riser with the Empire symbol and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
you tell me what these are.
501st Hound Man. I can't remember who they are. I think you've got Apo on the right. And
they've solicited them, haven't they? But they haven't. They haven't put this Walker up for.
No, they showed him in the speed bike pictures.
Correct.
But it will come out. They will do it. I mean, it looks pretty good. I like the way they have to give it kind of a big base on one of the feet to get it stand properly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, these look good. Again, it's more 501st.
Yep. And we've got R5D4, which we've seen many times over the years from Hot Toys. They've never brought him out. There's a sideshow one that does the job. I'd probably pick this up, but then would I? Because if it's 200 quid, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
And then we've got
for a droid that effectively drove forward 10 foot and exploded.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, he pops back up in the Mandalorian, but
he does. But yeah, it's
a blink and you miss it.
Yeah. So I like it, but I wouldn't pay it. And then we've got the pit droid. I don't know what the little guy's called. Does he turn up he's in the Clone Wars or something, isn't he? Or
he's in Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember. I've got files for him to print him. I just haven't done it yet. I can't remember. He's Carl Kestis's droid.
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously these are in with the Starfighter display. Again, I don't know whether or not we'll see any of these. I mean, R5's been kicking around for years and they've never released him, so I doubt they will. But I think they just wanted to fill out the Starfighter display. Cad Bane and Book of Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm. I love these.
Yep.
I do.
Just with
I like Boba Fett with his new trousers is great, but it's just kind of adding insult to injury at this point. And then
yeah,
Cad Bane looks. I like this Cad Bane.
Yeah.
Now they did show an animated version for Sideshow.
Yeah.
Which looks fantastic, but it's Sideshow and anything like that, so you're probably better off with this version.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. When Cad Bane comes out, if I have the money, I will get a Cad Bane.
Yeah.
Because he's a pretty cool bounty hunter.
And then we've got this the whole of the Bad Batch.
It's only the little girl, which I cannot remember her name off the top of my head.
Do you think they'd actually bring her out?
It would be weird not to at this point if you're going to do the rest.
Right. Okay. So anyway, tell me who these
would.
are and what you think of them, because I'm not.
You got Echo.
I know Tech.
Yeah, you got Echo, Tech, Wrecker, and I always forget. You've got Hunter, and I always forget the sniper's name.
Omega.
Anyone in the chat?
Is that right?
No, Omega's the girl. Omega's the little girl. Crosshair. That's it. Crosshair.
Okay. So do you think they'll bring them all out? Because people were saying they didn't want to get on board if they weren't going to bring out the whole.
That's why I didn't pre-order Hunter, because Hunter looks really good.
So they've all been solicited now.
Well, they haven't. They've all been shown at conventions. They've not been put up for solicitation yet.
True.
Once I see them go up for pre-order, I'll probably pre-order them. But at the moment, the problem is Hot Toys have such a track record of showing us stuff and then it never coming out. And they've also got a track record of only releasing a couple of people from a team.
Yeah.
I think it depends, because if lots of people pre-order Hunter and then lots of people pre-order Echo, then potentially they'd probably go, here's Wrecker. And but then at that point people would be like, well, so it really depends.
So the two at the bottom are the ones that have been solicited.
Far right and one
far
next
right and the okay.
The bald Neil Patrick Harris. And the one above him on the right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I say, they've even showed Crosshair. They're still just in the coming soon pile.
He's the bottom left one, is he?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. They look fantastic.
Yeah, I'd like them to bring them all out. It's not for me. I don't watch it. No, they're not into it. But I think for the collectors, they should bring them all out, because it would make a nice set. It'd be a really good display.
Yeah. I think it would. I think they'd be pretty cool.
This is what I want to talk about. So that's kind of the end of the Hot Toys pictures.
Now on to the good stuff.
Yeah, and I was flicking about and I couldn't see anything else really. To me, Exo 6 win the show, win SDCC 2022 with their Ruther Khan, Kirk Spock and McCoy figures. Absolutely love these. I want these more than any other figures on available at the moment. None of these are gone up for pre-order yet. We've seen them at a couple of shows now, and I love them, and I've got to have them. I'm not bothered about the chair. I've put it in here. They've got the captain's chair. It's a bit plain, and it works for 2 and 3 for Wrath of Khan or Search for Spock. But I think Nanjin said it was going to be like the cost of a figure. It's got a big base on it, hasn't it? And
I like the base. I like that it's tiered.
Yeah.
So that when you put in your collection, you can have Kirk sitting down, and then you've got enough.
I'll have to judge it and see what it's. I mean, the figures are must-haves. I'm definitely buying the figures, all 3. I love that. I love the outfit. Wrath of Khan is by far my favourite Star Trek movie, and will be for all time, I think. This is all I want from XO6. This is probably all I'll buy. And it's not to say that I don't love other stuff, but limited budget, limited space. These are the 3 figures that, like, for me, are what I want. So I'm loving seeing them out again, but I just want them to go up for pre-order. And I don't know if they'll all go up together or they'll do them separately. I know that they are. Nanjin said that they are making all of the tunics all in one run, so they're all exactly the same colour, everything. So, I mean, a 3-pack would be perfect. Because I don't know why you'd want any of them without. I know people are saying that they don't like the McCoy sculpt so much, and they'd just buy Kirk and Spock. But I think if I did that, I'd regret not getting McCoy, and I think McCoy would end up being a fortune on the secondary market.
If you go all 3, at least you know that you've got the basis of a decent figure, and you can always get an alternative sculpt if you don't like the sculpts.
Yeah, look, Andre says
options.
A captain without his chair is like an OFAC episode without dropping a C-bomb, Pete. Yeah,
that is true.
Yeah,
that
very
is
true.
very,
I
very
don't think
true.
we've dropped one yet, so we better make sure we get one in there. But
hang on.
What a cunt.
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
Lovely, done.
There you go.
Yeah, I think you've got to go for all 3, because like we saw with the QMX, the balls up there, a lot of people didn't get McCoy or Scotty, and like I saw someone put Sulu up for like $700.
I saw that. It was like, fuck off.
And they are very rare, because that's where QMX just fucked up and they dropped the ball, and that's where it all ended, and there are very few Sulus out there. But like we said with Worf, if you've got even a 10% thought that you might want McCoy, get him as well, because and I'm like you say, sign up to the mailing group, you'll get a little bit of an edge, and order them straight away. And I know there's a lot of people want these, so yeah, I'm loving these. And for me, they're best in show, and that's it. They've got Locutus, which looks really cool as well.
He does look awesome, doesn't he?
Yeah. Again, I'm not going to collect anything other than the Wrath of Khan, but I do like him. He does look really cool.
I think even just to get the next generation representation on a shelf, if you weren't going to go for the whole bridge crew and you weren't going to go balls deep into it, a Locutus and a Picard would be really good.
Yeah, definitely.
If anything screams out for him to do a double pack, it's that, where you could have the 2. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
And obviously we saw Burnham again and Saru. I think that's all they had there.
Saru looks fantastic. Looks really good. And then Burnham just doesn't look...
No, she's a bit of...
It's that head sculpt just looks too flat.
Yeah.
The problem is, every other one of those figures is banging. Looks fucking fantastic. So it just makes her look even worse.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. So yeah, please, Nanjin, soon I will budget for them. No, I haven't been more excited for figures for a long time.
I'll go on a selling spree to get those 3. They are fantastic figures.
And there's talk of them coming with the away coats as well, because we've seen McCoy with the big coat on. People are asking whether they all come with it or not. Not sure because you don't see Spock with one on because he doesn't leave the Enterprise. So I don't know, but McCoy has definitely been shown with the jacket, the away jacket. So that'd be cool, even to just get one, because that's a cool look as well. Very iconic. And then just chucked in Asmus. They showed their Gandalf the White, and I really love it. I know that there's been a bit of criticism saying that he's too tanned and stuff like that, but I actually don't mind. I think he looks really good. Is he? Or are we just I don't think he is. And a lot of the screenshots I've seen of him, he looks really washed out, and I don't remember him being quite that pale. I think it's great, and I think it's
honestly. If I wasn't getting ready just to call it a day on Lord of the Rings figures, I'd be getting this.
I'd be very tempted. I to be honest, and I'm not just being facetious and stuff like that. I prefer this to the in art. I know it's a different version. It's not comparable, but I really like this head sculpt. I think it looks really, and the routing job on it's really good. I presume this will be a Crown series, so it's going to be sort of 300 plus, and obviously you're going to have the option of Shadowfax as well. I imagine that they'll have a separate, probably a double pack or just Gandalf. Looks great. The tailoring looks lovely. I would be tempted because obviously I can't just. I've got two Gandalf the Greys, but I don't have a Gandalf the White, and the previous Asmus one was horrible.
No, it was horrible.
It was. It was like a melted, stretched kind of. This is great. I love it. The only thing I thought, I'm sure that the Glamdring, he's obviously got the white scabbard. I'm sure that the leather wrap was white as well.
Yes, it is. I just looked on the premium form.
So that's a bit odd, but they've obviously, it's a prototype, it's a work in progress. They've just got the old sword there. I'm sure that'll be sorted. But I like it. And if it's that good, when they come up for pre-order, and they're saying that it's going to be quite, almost like it's going to go up for pre-order and soon, and it's going to be available to ship. It's going to be a bit like these Exo 6 jobbies where
kind of quick turnaround.
Yeah. So I might have to look at this one. I think if it looks that good, I'd be very tempted. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, I like it a lot. Brilliant. I do like it. A lot.
It is. So
that is it.
Good.
That is it. And we've skipped shenanigans. So we'll go into, if you want to play the Run VT, as they say, for Custom Corner.
Go on then. Let me dig it out and find it.
It is your favourite.
Custom Corner.
It's just crazy, man.
It is. So I have been busy with. In fact, I know what I've done with that sculpt that I was talking about. Hang on. That's what I painted. I'm gonna use on him.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So I made these. See if I can get it to. So I made that eye all gammy and just red, and the idea was to use that as like a really fucked up bobber. So I painted that the other day.
From this distance, I'm seeing Freddy Krueger.
Yeah,
but no, it's not a bad sculpt. I saw you put a picture up. Yeah, it was
that Arnie thing for Steve, but he doesn't want it anymore because he's had the sculpt redesigned. I forgot all about them. It was only just now that I've got.
Is that the one that Steve had printed that had commissioned?
Yes. Yeah, he's had stuff done to the sculpt now.
Right.
Because the problem is that
for,
one came
for like Total Recall, Running Man kind of.
That one came with some weird texturing, which I couldn't sand out because it just would have taken all the detail out of the sculpt. Yeah. So I just painted it up as a bit of practice and said to him, "Look, do you want it? Do you not want it? It's just sitting there." And he was like, "Nah, he said, "I've had it redone now anyway, so just keep hold of it." So I've got this Schwarzenegger one.
So is he going to be sending you the new ones to paint as well then?
I don't think so. I think he's still having shit done to him.
Okay.
But yeah, and then I, as you know, love 40k, and so I collect orcs. Orcs are great little hand-to-hand combat dudes. Not so good at the shooting. These guys. So you have. Their kind of guys in charge are like these, and these are called knobs. These are orc knobs, right?
Knobs.
Like that. and then you get Orc Knobs in Mega Armor, which are big hulking things. Now, I'm not a fan of the Games Workshop Mega Armor because they look like this. Now, I have a big one down here, a big knob, if you'll forgive the pun. They look like that, right? If you've ever seen box trolls, you'll know what I mean. So this is one of the like do-it-yourself painted McFarlane ones. So I just got hold of it and painted it up. Now, in box trolls, they are trolls that are just in boxes. So it's a pair of arms and legs out of box. These really remind me of that. So I wasn't that keen on having them in my army. So so there's a really cool website called Puppets War. Right. And they sell either printed models or files. So for 13 quid, I got the files for these guys, for their versions of these orcs in Mega Armor. Okay. These look so much better to me. Now these have, so I've got 6 of these all in all. I've got these 3 that I've painted that have effectively chainsaw hands.
I was going to say, that is like covered in blood. Yeah, where they've been mashing people up.
So I love a bit of gore on my orcs because if they've got giant axes and chainsaws and shit, they're going to be bloodied up. So I painted these up. I did a load of edge highlighting that looked really detailed, and I just caked them in blood. Yeah, which kind of negates the need for a lot of the edge highlighting.
Yeah, but you know it's there. You know,
exactly. I know it's there. So that's the important thing. And I used these in a game last night where I played my mate. And they are fucking fantastic. I am so glad I've got 6 of these now. But Games Workshop will charge you £40 for 3, £13 I can print as many as I like.
Yeah.
And they come with alternative hands, like this little piece up here that they've got is a combi scorcher, so it's effectively a flamethrower. You can swap that out with like shooters and stuff like that, so you get lots of options to be able to swap bits out, and to print them all to print all 6 of these took 2 build plates and probably took about 5 hours to print, and then about 5 hours then to paint up. But yeah, I'm absolutely loving these. I'm really enjoying painting miniatures, just because
it's great fun.
Yeah, it's so different to like painting a head sculpt. They're fiddly, but they're fantastic. Yeah. So yeah, I got these. If anyone is into 40k and stuff like that, have a look at Puppets of War. Puppets War, not Puppets of War. Really good. They do resin kits that they print themselves and send out to you. You can download the files, and they come pre-supported.
Is it just 40k, or do they have like?
They do other models. They do other models on there, kind of diorama-y bits, which are pretty cool. But what I found was there's a lot of there's a Facebook page for 3D printing for 40k. Lots of people post on there, and lots of the people that post on there that have Patreon accounts or websites that you can buy files do lots of other miniatures as well. So it's a really good gateway to get in. And some of the miniatures you can use for other stuff as well. So it's worth having a look even if you just like models, because some of the stuff in there is really cool.
So Catherine's asked if we backed the Tomy Enterprise. No, did not.
No, I wasn't even aware of it, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it's a large scale model. It's like a Hasbro Pulse type jobby, I think, or like a fundraiser thing, Kickstarter. No, it's the original version 1701, which I'm not a massive fan of. If it was 1701A, possibly, or like the refit one. But I have had one of the big models before when I had the QMX stuff, and it was fun, but it took up a lot of space, and it's not really something that I. It looks good, don't get me wrong, but I'm not after an Enterprise. It's nothing film and TV. I think everything's kind of finished now that I've been watching. I'm still watching. I'm struggling through Westworld, which is naff, but
Yeah, I can't. I'm not doing it to myself. Not doing it to myself. I've downloaded the trial for Paramount Plus. I was surprised how little was actually on there.
I know. It is like you watch. As you said, take Star Trek out of the equation. There's not a lot there. I think obviously go forward. They're going to get the first releases of all the big films like Maverick and stuff. But for the moment, there's not. It's not worth your £6 a month. I don't think.
Yeah. So I'm going to pay for a month after the free trial, and then I'm going to try and watch as much Star Trek in that month as I can, and then see whether or not, because I paid Disney Plus without even thinking about it, just to have access to all the Star Wars. I've not even looked.
Yeah,
at
Halo's
it.
the other big one, isn't it? Yeah.
So yeah, I want to go through because I've watched the Next Generation films to death. Like I love those films, and I will watch them. First Contact and all that, fantastic. The original Star Trek films, not so much. So I want to go back and watch those.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think it's a little bit like the Disney Plus situation, where they've got some of the Star Trek, but some of it's still out there. Because I'm pretty sure Netflix has still got the original series on there.
So Netflix still have the original series, DS9, the Next Generation still on there.
Yeah, and they're just waiting for their contracts are running down, presumably.
Yeah, but Next Generation is still on Paramount Plus anyway.
Right. So they're doubling up.
There's some there's stuff that's doubled up. Stuff like Frasier and things like that are all on there. Cheers, so that's worth. I like Cheers, so it's worth it. So there's stuff on there that I think eventually is going to be the only way, particularly if Channel 4 gets sold over here, all that shit will be behind a paywall anyway over here. So I might as well go Paramount Plus.
Yeah, as you say, in a year or two, it's going to be the only place you can go to watch the Star Trek and stuff like that. So, it will have its place, but at the moment, it's a bit floundering at the moment. But
a bit bare bones.
And Strange New Worlds is great. Don't get me wrong, I am enjoying it, and it's probably worth it. Once there's probably not that many left now. So once that's all on there, it's definitely worth having it. Even if you can do it in a week, or just pay for a month and watch that, because that's a good show. So that's it really. Okay, so that's basically the show. So I would take a minute to thank all of our wonderful Patreon members. Sean Fear, Ian Seaby, René Mendes, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, James Colley, Equan, Chris Valencerina, Ben Thomas, Chris Leddy, David Jones, Sam Gist, Daminator, Joao Barreda, Danny Lee, Dini Martin, Stephen Crett, Big Fern, King Zach, Caesar American, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Momonsky, Rick De Gregorio, John the Everyday Collector, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Owen Asusina, Illustrious Rainer, Alid Morgan, Takathri Wah, Derek Bizazinski, newest member Pablo Meza, welcome, Carlos Savija, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Don Maton, Jimmy James, Stephen Purchase, Sean Yahtzee, Scott Bradley, Stephen Maria Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer. Thank you all very much. If you want to sign up for Patreon, I will just drop the link in the chat. We've got Sweet Angel, $5 a month. It gets you stickers sent straight to your door and Ox After Dark replay. Certified Crispies, $15 a month. Official Certified Crispy certificate. System of Figure Fixes by Zach or us maybe in the UK. Well, you can always ask us. Benefits the previous tier, and the What a Guy, $25 a month, gets you the exclusive Pog Deluxe set. Doubles all the stickers we send, so you can give them to your friends and family, and all the benefits of the previous tiers. And then so the July Patreon benefits, we've got the CW Icon reissue sticker and the Collectors Club sticker. We won't say any more about that because I think John's had enough of us talking about dicks and stuff. I've seen, I think Zach showed the August stickers on CW, but he said they weren't 100% finalised, so I didn't put them in there. But I think we've got the Alien, I forget what his name is now, that Dean drew as a sticker, and the Shrinkway one, which is really cool. That's obviously what we say when a head sculpt is bang on. And Mr. Maguire got a shrink ray certification from us today. That's a cool sticker. So they'll be in the next show because we'll be into August then. But if you want to get these ones, I don't know if you've still got time or not, but you can always. I'm sure you can always get some back issues if you're just about to join up. We've also got the YouTube channel members. We've got Mojo Z78, Absolute Irwin, Test Just 1, DK Avenger 702, OMFG Rick, S Beam, Andrews IB, Daminator, Sam Gist, Thomas Clark, Benjamin Hanson, Chris V, OG Fan, Penrikers, Mark Pearson, Ben Thomas, Paul Schreiber, Andrew Gibe, CC3PO, Lima Hernandez, Carlito, CT603, and Eddie Mendez. Good old Eddie. So yeah, Patreon members can sign up to the YouTube member for 99 cents a month, and that gets you loyalty badges and shout-outs, emojis and shout-outs on the show. If you're not a Patreon, you can still become a YouTube channel member, enjoy the Peanut Gallery, which is $2.99 a month, and get all the same as benefits as the Patreons. We have collecting weekly T-shirts, a lot of the old designs, but I think there's been some new ones go on there recently, and as we've said, we're going to probably, hopefully, get some Star Wars Celebration T-shirts up there before April for our mass gathering there. We've got a few people we know are going, so that'd be really good. Link in the chat, and that is me, and I'll let you take us through the network.
Cool. So this is our wonderful, lively network full of lots of shows covering lots and lots of different things. We got Collecting Weekly, which is every week a revolving door of people in and out. Lovely guys talking about all the shit that's gone on that week, and how reissues are evil, and all that kind of jazz. And then you got After Dark, which is the seedier side of life in the collecting world. Effectively a slightly ruder version of Collecting Weekly. So
yeah, they were talking about vabbing, I think it was this week, which is
I've heard of that.
Bottling up bodily secretions and wearing them as like aftershave.
They were talking about that on Shagged, Married and Avoid. And Annoyed, sorry. Because they didn't know what it was either. Yeah.
So I guess Gwyneth Paltrow has a lot to answer for because she kind of started that whole thing.
Vagina candles and all sorts.
Yeah, exactly. Vabbing. Yeah.
And then Collecting Weekly live unboxing. If there's anything new, people open it up and shove a camera in front of it. So that's great. And it's all stuff that they bought with their own money as well.
I tell you, did you watch John with the Thor statue?
No, I wanted though because I heard about it. It's like step ladders and all sorts.
You got to watch that. It's so funny.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to get his missus to come in and help him, and she doesn't want to be on camera and stuff. It's very funny. Definitely, give that a watch if you've not seen it.
And then there's us, the Jewel in the Crown. The reason why the network is the way it is. Us.
Yeah.
Bricks and
we run
Brews.
a tight ship here.
We do. Very sleek operation here.
Definitely.
We've got Bricks
and
Brews.
It's taken us a while.
We've got there. It's only 74 odd episodes.
Yeah.
We got Bricks and Brews, which is grown men pretending to drink and building Lego. We got Collectors Club, which
where you get to see John climb ladders and sweat buckets for the network, which is always good.
Effectively, it's John's OnlyFans account.
Yeah, definitely.
We've got
you saw more of John than you could ever hope to see. That show.
Exactly. So we've got Small Talk, which is the littler things in life. But like we say every week, props to them. The shit that comes out there comes out thick and fast, and they manage to capture all of it.
Yeah, and there was some good news just as a little bit on the small side of things. The NECA have finally put their Dracula up for pre-order, so I got my pre-order in for him. Because he was shown at SDCC along with the Creature from the Black Lagoon as well. So,
cool.
but Dracula went up immediately for pre-order, so I got him in. So, because we've been waiting a while for him, he was shown a long time ago, and he's also getting an accessory pack as well with a coffin and different animals. So I'll be getting that, and Creature from the Black Lagoon looked really good as well. So yeah.
Cool. And then we got the Ringcast, which hopefully will be at some point soon.
Yeah, I don't know. That's in limbo a bit at the moment.
Yeah.
But, we need Mark to get his arse in gear and get us all together. Yeah.
And then Liverlit Dice, which is all Dungeons and Dragons. So yeah, that is us. That's the network. That's
I think the latest stream was like 5 minutes short of 6 hours for
D&D games go on for ages.
Yeah,
Like, I know people who set a whole day aside to play.
Yeah, I think you just lose track of time, don't you? And it's only when you see it like that and you go, oh blimey, it's like that was a 6-hour stream. Yeah. And they don't start till quite late at night, I think.
They've all got very, very understanding partners. Like, I'd never get away with that.
Not like us. No, it's like
I'd never get away with that.
Like John said to, Zach, do you work? Because he's doing so many shows. He's doing playing this Stray game.
Yeah.
He's doing Live and Let Dice. Yeah, and you think, does this man ever have time to eat, sleep, shit?
Yeah.
See his wife, go to work. He's a busy man. But yeah, it's a great network. It's a great network, and we've got a good, solid team. Bringing you some great content week in, week out. So yeah, thanks for sticking with us and listening and watching. And I suppose we've got a bit of a milestone next show, 75. 75 shows.
25 away from the 100th.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, cool.
Cool.
I think actually we might need to move it because I'm away in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, fine.
So it might be.
I'm easy.
Yeah, it might be 3 weeks' time. We'll talk about that.
Cool. Right. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
It has always been a fantastic show.
It has. Yep. Very good.
And
very active chat.
Very good. So we shall see you when we see you.
Yep.
Catch you later.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.